So here's the thing: for those that are struggling to find peace in their life, people that want to be more relaxed, feel like they're stressed all the time, have a lot of anxiety, and they're struggling to find the solution. Well, you gotta listen up. People are gonna go to a monk and be like, "Oh, show me how you do it. Show me what you do. How can I be like you? What's the trick?" And the thing is, it's almost a paradox because there is no trick at all. The only thing that limits you from finding peace, the only thing that creates suffering, that creates anxiety, that creates all this mental depression and illnesses in your life is your mind. Like I've said it before, I'll say it a million times, your mind is just a tool. But if the mind is creating noise all the time, then you're just getting eaten up by the mind and you're not able to enjoy life. You're not able to look at trees, look at the birds and enjoy. You're not able to live because your mind is the one living. The mind is consuming all that energy and your being isn't able to relax. It's not able to sit back and actually enjoy the life that it has. Which is so easy because everybody has the ability to shut off the mind. Everybody can. Do they do it? No. Do they? Most don't even understand that's the only way to enter into peace, to find enlightenment. Through shutting off the mind and letting your body be. And so don't go to the monk. Don't go to people enlightened and ask, "Hey, how do you do it? How can I be like you?" You already have the capacity to be like them. You just have to turn off the mind. I always get into some heated conversations with my friends when they're like, "Oh, those birds, they don't think, they're not conscious. Oh, dogs are not conscious. They just they just go off of instinct and there's no consciousness in them at all." I believe, well, that it's really pure consciousness. That when birds fly around, they know what they're doing. They know what their intentions are. The dogs, they're always present. They always are very aware. That's what presence is, being aware of your surroundings, being alive. Sometimes whenever I get lost, I just think like, you're in a video game that you have to survive. And so you're more keen to everything. You're paying attention to every single detail. You're more alive then. And so staying at that consciousness, staying at that level, you'll maintain presence and be more relaxed, be more at peace, because you know what's real. And the thing is, being present, you're knowing what's real, and then being in your mind, you're living in a whole nother fake reality. You're believing all these thoughts in your head. You're believing all these arguments in your head, all these possibilities, all these worries about the future, all this regret from the past. That's all in your mind. And if you think about it, nothing is real in your mind. Those are just thoughts flowing around. It's a server in your head that's just, you're basically being hacked. You're not able to enjoy your life, and someone's you are the one that's letting the mind control you. And it gets to me. I know it gets to people. Sometimes you're just walking around at a park. It could be a beautiful scenery, and you're not even looking at the scenery. You're not even looking at the birds. You're not even hearing if there's someone talking to you. You're just focused on your thoughts. You're like, damn, what if I don't reach these goals this year, or damn, what I did last year, I regret it. All these thoughts in your head that are controlling you, that are taking up all the energy inside of you, that you can't actually observe. You can't be conscious. You can't be aware of what's actually happening in the real world. You're stuck in this fake world, this server. And like I say, this is stuff that everybody should know and should be reminded, because that's how life is. It's not like you just feel that consciousness, feel the awareness, and you're able to maintain it for life. Sometimes, life's going to push you. There's going to be hard obstacles or hard situations that make you unconscious again, that make you start believing that the thoughts in your mind are real. Basically, getting hacked again. And you have to just remind yourself, hey, the thoughts in my mind, they're not real. If I'm absorbed by my mind the whole time, I'm never really actually living. And The thing is with your mind, like I said, if it used as a tool, there's benefits. But after that, it's just negative energy. You know, all these arguments, mental arguments that you have, all these fears, all these worries about the past and the future. You know, you just have to drop it. And drop it. Be like a dog. Be like the birds that just roam around and they don't care. They actually don't care at all. Like if something happens, you know, they just, hey, on to the next, you know. And that's why I love seeing animals, because they're present, they're fully aware. And that's how we have to be. Maybe humans have to be instinct as well. There's nothing wrong with being instinct animals. I mean, we as humans still have that instinct inside of us. The only difference is that we just add a lot more thoughts, that we're trapped in our minds again. And like I said, look what's happening. There's humans killing themselves, but you don't see animals doing that. You don't see animals depressed. Maybe the only diseases like that you would see in animals are animals that live with humans. But if you go in the wilderness, everything's perfect, you know. If an animal dies, well, it just dies, you know, on to the next. Oh, there's a bird floating around. They fly perfectly. You know, how they glide, how they go into patterns when there's more than one. And they're free birds. They're really free spirits. And we are as well. But we can only, you know, express that free spirit inside of us if we let go of the mind, if we're actually aware. So just remind yourself, you know. That's why it's important to get some books to remind yourself, especially, you know, in a process of maintaining that awareness, maintaining that enlightenment for longer periods of time. You need to practice. And that's the only way. That's the only way. Yeah. But don't complicate it. It's not something impossible to reach where you need to do a million things and practice for years and years. You could do it right now, just letting go of your mind. And then that practice would just be to maintain that awareness for longer until it becomes natural. But yeah, don't worry. Don't be like, oh, like you have to be a monk or you have to be an expert to be able to actually have peace in your life. Everybody's able to. Everybody has that capacity inside of them. You just gotta let go of your mind, and that's it, man. Peace.